Imagine waking up one morning and realizing the world around you is changing faster than humanity can understand. The skies feel hotter. The storms feel stronger. The seasons no longer behave normally. Across the planet, forests are burning, oceans are rising, and temperatures are breaking records year after year. Scientists around the world are now issuing their most serious warnings yet. Not about the distant future, but about what is happening right now. Some experts believe humanity may be entering one of the most dangerous periods in modern history. A time where a single decade could decide the future of civilization itself. And the most terrifying part? Many people still don't realize how serious the situation has become. This is not a movie. This is not science fiction. This is Earth. And according to scientists, Earth is entering danger mode. Screen fades to black. Chapter 1. The day the warnings changed. Globe warning. For decades, scientists warned humanity about climate change. Most people listened, then moved on with their lives. The warnings felt distant, like a problem for future generations. But in recent years, something changed. The warnings became louder, more urgent, and more terrifying. Scientists no longer spoke only about future risks. Now they were talking about collapsing ecosystems, dangerous tipping points, and irreversible damage. In laboratories, universities, and climate research centers around the world, experts began seeing patterns that shocked even them. Temperatures were rising faster than expected. Oceans were heating rapidly. Polar ice was melting at dangerous speeds. The planet's balance was beginning to break. And then came the phrase that spread across headlines worldwide: Earth is entering danger mode. For many people, those words sounded dramatic. But scientists insisted they were not exaggerating. Because everywhere they looked, the warning signs were growing stronger. Chapter 2. A planet getting hotter. The summer of 2026 felt different. In many countries, people described the heat as unbearable. Roads cracked under the sun. Railway tracks bent from extreme temperatures. Air conditioners failed after running non-stop for days. Some cities experienced temperatures never recorded before. Hospitals filled with patients suffering from dehydration and heatstroke. Emergency services struggled to keep up. In crowded apartments without electricity, families tried desperately to stay cool. Children slept beside fans powered by weak generators. Elderly people suffered the most. Many died quietly inside overheated homes. Scientists explained that greenhouse gases trapped heat inside Earth's atmosphere like a blanket. The more pollution humanity produced, the hotter the planet became. And now the consequences were accelerating. Researchers warned that extreme heat could eventually make some regions difficult to live in during summer months. Outdoor work would become dangerous. Agriculture would suffer. Daily life itself could change. But even more frightening was the fact that heat waves were becoming longer every year. The planet was not simply warming. It was entering a new climate reality. Chapter 3. When the oceans turn against us. Most people never think about the oceans. But scientists say the oceans control much of Earth's climate. And now the oceans are changing. Deep in the Pacific Ocean, researchers discovered massive areas of abnormal warming. A super El Niño event was beginning. Scientists feared it could become one of the most destructive climate events in modern history. Warm oceans affect weather across the entire planet. Heavy rains hit some regions. Drought destroys others. Storm systems become stronger and less predictable. Hurricanes pull energy from warm ocean water. And as oceans become hotter, storms become more violent. Entire coastal communities faced terrifying floods. Families escaped rising water carrying children and whatever belongings they could save. Cars floated through streets like toys. Some places received months of rainfall in only a few days. Scientists warned that the atmosphere now holds more moisture because of rising temperatures. That means when storms happen, they release enormous amounts of rain. The oceans that once protected humanity were becoming increasingly dangerous. And experts feared this was only the beginning. Chapter 4: The Planet of Fire. Then came the fires. Massive wildfires erupted across forests, mountains, and grasslands. Heat waves and drought turned entire landscapes into fuel. One spark was enough. Flames spread with terrifying speed. Entire towns disappeared beneath smoke and ash. People ran for their lives as walls of fire approached homes. The skies turned dark orange. Breathing itself became difficult. Firefighters described conditions unlike anything they had seen before. Some fires created their own weather systems. Burning air rose into the sky, creating fire tornadoes and powerful winds. Satellite images showed smoke crossing continents. Scientists warned that climate change was increasing wildfire risk around the world. Hotter temperatures dry vegetation faster. Longer droughts create perfect conditions for uncontrollable fires. And each wildfire released even more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, making global warming worse. The cycle was becoming dangerous. The hotter Earth became, the more fires appeared. And the more fires appeared, the hotter Earth became. Chapter 5: Antarctica's collapsing ice. Far from civilization, Antarctica was hiding one of the biggest threats to humanity. Scientists studying satellite images noticed something alarming. Massive cracks spreading across ancient glaciers. Ice shelves that had existed for thousands of years were collapsing into the ocean. Some glaciers were melting much faster than expected. Researchers warned that parts of Antarctica may already be approaching irreversible tipping points. If enough ice melts, sea levels rise dramatically. And rising seas threaten some of the world's largest cities. Millions of people live near coastlines. Cities like Jakarta, Miami, Bangkok, and parts of Karachi could face severe flooding risks in the future. Some scientists fear entire communities may eventually be forced to relocate. And the frightening part is this: ice melting in Antarctica affects the entire planet. Ocean currents change. Weather systems shift. Global temperatures become more unstable. Everything on Earth is connected. And Antarctica was sending humanity a warning. Chapter 6: The disappearing water. As temperatures rose, freshwater supplies began shrinking. Rivers that once supported millions became weaker every year. Lakes dried into cracked. Reservoirs dropped to dangerous levels. In some regions, families waited hours just to collect clean water. Farmers watched crops die under endless heat. Scientists warned that climate change could trigger future water crises across multiple continents. And without water, civilization cannot survive. Experts feared that future conflicts between nations may center around access to fresh water. Because when water disappears, economies suffer. Agriculture collapses. Food prices rise. Migration increases. Water had become one of humanity's most precious resources. And Earth was losing it. Chapter 7: The Global Food Crisis. The climate crisis soon began affecting food production. Extreme weather destroyed harvests across many countries. Droughts damaged wheat fields. Floods destroyed rice crops. Heat waves reduced agricultural productivity. Farmers struggled because traditional seasons no longer behaved normally. Rain arrived too early. Or too late. Sometimes not at all. Food prices rose rapidly. In poorer countries, families suffered the worst consequences. Millions faced hunger. Scientists warned that climate change threatens global food security on a massive scale. And if temperatures continue rising, future shortages could become much more severe. The frightening reality was this: humanity depends completely on stable climate systems for survival. Without predictable weather, modern civilization becomes fragile. Chapter 8: The fear of the next generation. Children growing up today are experiencing a different kind of fear. Not fear of monsters. Not fear of war. Fear of the future itself. Many young people believe they may witness environmental collapse during their lifetime. Social media constantly shows disasters. Floods, wildfires, storms, heat waves. Psychologists created a new term, eco-anxiety, a deep fear about the future of Earth. Some teenagers wonder if it is safe to have families in the future. Others feel anger toward older generations for ignoring warnings for so long. Scientists say climate anxiety is becoming increasingly common worldwide. Because for the first time in modern history, millions of people feel uncertain about the long-term stability of the planet itself. Chapter 9: The economic collapse. No one expected. Climate disasters are not only environmental problems. They are economic disasters too. Every flood destroys infrastructure. Every wildfire damages businesses. Every storm costs billions. Insurance companies began refusing coverage in high-risk areas. Governments struggled to rebuild after repeated disasters. Scientists warned that climate change could become one of the greatest financial threats in modern history. Entire industries may face disruption. Tourism, agriculture, transportation, energy. Everything depends on stable environmental conditions. And now those conditions were changing rapidly. Chapter 10: The race for survival. Despite the fear, humanity did not give up. Scientists searched desperately for solutions. Countries invested in renewable energy. Solar farms expanded across deserts. Wind turbines rose from oceans. Electric vehicles slowly replaced gasoline cars. Some cities planted millions of trees. Researchers developed machines designed to remove carbon dioxide directly from the atmosphere. Young activists demanded action from world leaders. For the first time, many people realized climate change was not someone else's problem. It belonged to everyone. Because no border can stop rising temperatures. No wall can stop hurricanes. Humanity shares one atmosphere. One planet. One future. Chapter 11: Two possible futures. Scientists say humanity now stands at a crossroads. One path leads toward worsening disasters. Extreme heat. Flooded cities. Food shortages. Mass migration. The other path leads toward adaptation and recovery. Cleaner energy. Protected forests. Technological innovation. Global cooperation. The future has not been fully decided yet. And that may be humanity's greatest hope. Because every action taken today shapes tomorrow. Every year matters. Every decision matters. The next decade may become one of the most important periods in human history. Not because of war. Not because of politics. But because humanity may finally decide whether it can save its own future. Final ending. Clapperboard. The warning signs are no longer hidden. They are visible everywhere. In the heat waves. In the storms. In the melting ice. In the burning forests. Earth is changing faster than humanity expected. And scientists believe history may remember this moment as the turning point. The moment humanity realized the danger was real. Or the moment humanity finally chose to fight for survival. Because the future is already beginning. And the choices made today may decide the fate of generations not yet born. Scientists warn Earth is entering danger mode, but humanity still has time to change the ending.